Good morning everybody, welcome to New Year's Eve, the last day of 2021, my last day of recording from down here, going home, or I'll be at home when this is released, so back to my comfort zone, although I quite enjoy being down here doing these recordings and overcoming different problems. So yeah, that's familiar territory from tomorrow's reading. So, last day of the year, we've got some really good astrology for today. The moon is going to spend all day in Sagittarius, so that's a really lovely, expansive fire energy, mutable fire energy of, you know, sort of looking forward, what do we want to move towards. It's going to form a trine with Chiron in Aries, so a nice fire energy for healing yeah, shedding old skins. It's going to trine Saturn in Aquarius, so we're going to be able to sort of ground those new ideas and the new parts of us in. And then it's going to form a conjunction with Mars. So as we leave this year and step into next year, we're really sort of gearing up with lots of sort of action, fire energy, ready to move forward. So let's see what the cards say, to whether they support this or if they've got any advice and how we could best utilise this energy. So I'm going to start off with an overview with the Gaia deck. What do we need to know for today? 31st of December 2021, New Year's Eve. What are the messages from Spirit for the collective? What do we need to know? Messages from Spirit for the collective for New Year's Eve 2021. How to navigate the energies and to transition into New Year's Day tomorrow. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have Ocean of Eternal Love, Healing, Creativity and Fertility. Lovely energy to be taken forward. Then we've got Night Wind, Facing Fear, Subconscious Release and Healing. Okay. And then we have Zen Garden, Inner Sanctuary. Okay, so I'm seeing this as when we're in the ocean of eternal love, when we're in that soul world, connected to that higher energy, then it allows us to face our fears and release subconscious fears and anxieties and things like that, because we're not alone. We're back in spirit, and yeah, it helps us to sort of release those fears and bring about healing and fertility. And Zen Garden is really about sort of coming back to yourself. You're in a sanctuary, and again, in the ocean of eternal love, that's where we feel security to be able to do that. It's almost like sort of the Zen Garden within us at peace, and then us within the bigger quantum universal energies also at peace and connected and just flowing. And yeah, it's just feel it as like a rhythmic sort of soothing, nurturing energy, and as I said, in that type of space, then it's easier for us to release fears and unconscious beliefs. So that to me is relating to the trine to Chiron and the sextile to Saturn. I'm going to do the Wild Unknown Tarot today. It just feels right as we're on a bit of a threshold. Okay, so what do we need to know for today? New Year's Eve 2021. Messages from Spirit for the collective. Okay, we could still be resonating with those energies from yesterday, the Tower and things. Okay. What do we need to know for today? Messages from Spirit for the collective for New Year's Eve 2021. What do we need to know? What do we need to know for today? New Year's Eve 2021. Okay, so after the Tower comes the Star. And then we have the Nine of Wands. We have the Six of, is that Swords or is that Wands? That actually looks like Wands. Sometimes it can be very difficult to tell in this deck between the Wands and the Swords, but it looks like Wands. Then we have the Four of Swords, the Mother of Swords, the Six of Cups, Strength card, and the Eight of Wands. And at the bottom, Father of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, those up there. Okay, so after all the big energies of yesterday, let me know how you survived, how you got on. We find ourselves in the position of the Star. New hopes, new opportunities, of new beginnings. Also, as we step from the old year into the new year, it's also a time of optimism and hope and new beginnings. Okay, in the Moon position, our emotions, our instinct, the subconscious, we have the Nine of Wands, and this is making me think about the upcoming new moon in Capricorn on the 2nd, and it's almost like stepping up towards that and building towards that with our new ideas, our new optimism. What do you want to build in 2022? And then we have the Six of Wands. Okay, and this is in the Mercury position, which is communication, information, the details, and the Six of Wands is about riding to victory, having achieved something. So maybe sort of looking back over 2021, what victories have you had in 2021? Okay, the sort of, we can, as we step into the new year, it's like we're making intentions for the new year, but we're always also giving thanks and gratitude for the year that we're leaving behind, what we've achieved, the victory that we've had, maybe even things that haven't worked out quite so well. So yeah, it's really at the sort of threshold energy as we step through. Then the Venus card, which is our values around love and money, relationships, etc. And we have the Four of Swords. And for me, we see the sun at the third eye of the little lamb at the bottom. This for me is, well, the Four of Swords is about healing and just having time to recover. So again, standing on the threshold, we're looking back at our victories, we're opening up our third eye and seeing a new vision for the new year. And in a very sort of balanced place between the old and the new. Then the Sun card, which is what's constantly in front of us, our core vitality and energy. We have the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is able to just cut away what is no longer needed. So as we're standing on this threshold, and I like in this card that she's now having the wisdom to know what to cut away and what we're going to take forward with us into the new year. The rainbow in this card, the sun at the third eye, the new visions and things. Then we have the Mars card, which is how we take action, our will, our drive, our determination, our creativity. And we have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is having deep roots, connecting to our ancestors and the past. It's our past and acknowledging our past that gives us the strength to go forward. And I was saying about this, about sort of giving thanks for the victories of the past year, knowing how connected we are to our past, to the families, to the ancestors, and it's through all of them that we are where we are now. This is also about stepping over the threshold into 2022 and being deep rooted. So we've got that stability to be balanced as we walk forward. Okay, if we try and take action and we aren't deeply rooted, then we very quickly sort of can fall over flat on our face. If we've got deep roots, if we're deeply grounded and connected, it helps holds us strong and secure. The Zen garden, in a sanctuary, in a stability, grounded down deep, and secure in ourselves. Then the Jupiter card, expansiveness and hope and optimism and justice and freedom and things like that. We've got the strength. Everything we've been through, both during this last year and from our families, our ancestors, other lives, everything, it's all given us this inner strength to go forward as we step into the new year. We can step into the new year as a lion. The Saturn card of obstacles, limitations, responsibilities, commitments, restrictions. We have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands in this position is just really speaking to me about how things can suddenly change and fall away. Those limitations and obstacles and things, in a split second they can change, they can fall away, almost like the Tower yesterday. And especially if we take on everything from the rest of the reading and we connect in through all of these different aspects of ourselves, then things can suddenly change. The cards at the bottom of the deck, we had the Father of Pentacles. The Father of Pentacles is about our physical reality and stability and firm foundations, and what we want to create as our tradition and our self out in the world. With it came out the Nine of Cups, the emotional wish card. So these together is saying that, sort of for me, that we're now in a position that we can make this wish, set these intentions as we step out into the new year. Okay, so you might want to spend some of today, if you can, floating in the ocean of eternal love, letting the night winds blow away and release those fears and subconscious limitations and things. Just let it all release, be blown back into 2021 so that you can step forward into the new year from a place of inner sanctuary, of stability, of connection to the past, rooted deeply into who you are, with your inner strength, carrying you forward with the vision of the new year and the new life. A card next that was at the bottom of the deck was the Two of Swords, and the message that's coming through for me from this is about this energy taking us through to the next eclipses, which will be at the end of April and into May. So I think we've got the first one something like the 30th of April. I think it is a solar eclipse as well. So between now and 30th of April, check your dates, check your diaries, things like that to see if I'm correct. But I've got a feeling it is something like the 30th. In fact, I've got my moon diary here. Let's have a look and see what it says. So yes, it's a new moon on the 30th. Beltaine, between now and Beltaine. And yeah, the 30th is a partial solar eclipse it will be in Taurus, won't it? Yeah. So between now and Beltaine and the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus, this is the time for setting these firm foundations, this stability, this inner strength, this vision to what you want to take out in 2020. Interestingly, I was talking yesterday about when I had my two German shepherds and we used to walk out in nature and in the parks where I lived, and things that I noticed by watching the changes of the season was, one thing was it takes 7 days on average before you can see an actual change in nature. And the other thing that reminds me of Beltaine is all the dead nettles and everything that have died off the year before. They don't fall over straight away. They're dead and brown and everything, but they're still stood up. And it's around Beltaine that the new nettles are coming through, and it's the new nettles and the new growth that finally knock over the old nettles so that they can be composted into the ground, and the new growth and the new nettles, the new fresh life is strong enough to as it comes through to knock them down. So I would take this energy to be from between now to then. Then we have the High Priestess next. Connecting to our higher selves, tuning into the messages coming through. Just seeing we've got another 6, and this is actually the 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Swords, we're moving away from the old dark times and we're going towards the rainbow to better times. I don't know if you can see the swords at the bottom of one card and the wands at the bottom of the other. Very difficult to distinguish in this deck. So this is the 6 of Swords. This is about moving away from the chaos and the struggles of the old towards the rainbow of the new year. And then we have the 6 of Wands, and we have that transformation. We have that rebirth of the new, of finding our wings and becoming the butterfly. Okay, so that's today's reading. Quite a big reading, quite optimistic as we step into the new year. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, then please like, share and subscribe to the channel. And for notifications on my readings, then click on the wiggly bell. and you'll be notified. I've got lots of new ideas and things now that sort of I feel like I've established myself at this level of entry into having this channel. Then I've got plans for expanding it next year with lots of new things. So if that's something you might be interested in, then stay tuned, get notifications, and let's go through 2022 together. If you'd like a personal reading from me, then please click on or send me an email at the email address below, and we can arrange something then. As usual, things are taking longer than I imagined them to do because of personal circumstances happening at the end of November into December, that my website has been put on hold, but come the new year, back on track with everything, and as I say, launching lots of new things during this coming year. Have a wonderful rest of New Year's Eve and into New Year's Day. I hope your plans and goals and aspirations for 2022 are inspiring, and thank you for being with this channel in 2021. Goodbye.